Hi everybody, it's so good to be with you again today. And I'm a little late in putting this out today because I had to be on a special professional development meeting this morning. But I hope you're all doing well and you're still staying safe and staying at home. Today, for your homework, you're going to be using this nonfiction choice board. In the packet that you took home with you, there should have been a piece of paper that looks just like this. And you're going to be using one of the nonfiction texts that was also put in your packet to accomplish this task. So if you want to stop the video now and go find your nonfiction tic-tac-toe choice board, go ahead and do that, and then we'll read the directions together. Okay. So once you get your nonfiction book and your nonfiction tic-tac-toe choice board, this is what you're going to be doing. And this is going to be happening over the course of about 3 or 4 days. So this is going to go into next week. So you're going to choose any 3 boxes that will give you tic-tac-toe that you would like to answer. You may go up, down, diagonal, or across. In your reading journal or your reading notebook, write the title of the box on the top of the new page along with the date. Now this is how I would like you to set up your notebook page. Have your name, date, your number, the choice that you're choosing. So you're going to choose one of these, one of these choices, and you're going to write the choice here. So for example, I'm going to be choosing vocabulary as the one that I want to model for you. So I would write here, vocabulary. If you were choosing facts, you would write facts. If you were choosing reflection, you would do reflection. But I'm going to write vocabulary because that is the choice that I'm making. Okay. Answer each question in a paragraph. So for what it's asking me to do under vocabulary, the answers that I come up with, I'm going to need to write them in a paragraph. That's going to be a little bit more difficult than just stating the words that I'm not sure about and their definition. So I'm going to have to really think about the meaning of the words and how I can put them together in a paragraph. Don't forget to indent your paragraph and to include evidence from the story. There should be specific page numbers or paragraph numbers telling the reader where you found your answers. So after you put the choice that you're going to be making, then I want you to put the name of the book and the author. And then after you are ready to write your paragraph, you might want to use some scrap paper to kind of figure everything out before you write it in your notebook. Use a separate piece of paper and that would be your first draft of your paragraph. Do that first, and then once you have all your spelling down and everything seems to flow, then you can write your paragraph under the name of your book and your author. And remember, we're indenting. We're indenting, so we're coming in a little bit. We're writing. Whoops, my marker's not working. And then we come back over, and that's how we write our paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is 3 to 5 sentences. All right, so my book is going to be, I'm using this book, one of the books that my children used to love to read, and it's entitled Sharks. So here I would put book, and I'll put a colon, Sharks by, and I look at the title page to find my author because it's not on the front, Jill Wolfe. Okay, so I have my my title, I'm sorry I wrote a little crooked, and my author. And then I am going to choose a section of this book. I am going to choose this section of the book entitled The Lemon Shark. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and read it. Lemon shark. Its length is 8 to 11 feet. Its home is the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Eastern Pacific Ocean. So if I wasn't sure where these places were, I would look them up because I want to be able to visualize what I'm reading. Remember, if you don't visualize, if you can't visualize what you're reading, you do not understand it. And I want to make sure I understand it. So I would go to map of Atlantic Ocean on my Chromebook, or map of Caribbean Sea or Eastern Pacific Ocean, and look those places up. And then I would try to find out where I was in relation to those places. Favorite food of the lemon shark: stingrays, octopuses, seabirds, fish, lobsters, crabs, and shrimp. Okay, unusual features. Although the lemon shark is dangerous, it does well in captivity. Captivity, I wonder what that means. I'm going to jot that down. Okay, and this would be on a separate piece of paper. And I would jot these words down because remember, I'm doing vocabulary. And under vocabulary, it says, choose 4 words from the passage that you do not know the meaning of. Define each word using either the glossary or a dictionary. Don't forget to write your answers in a paragraph. So, one of the words I'm going to look up is captivity. And I'm just going to list these over to the side. But you will do this on a separate piece of paper. Captivity. Okay, let's keep reading. It can learn how to tell shapes apart and how to hit a target for a food reward. Okay, target and reward. I'm not sure of those, so I'm going to look those up too. Target, reward. And I'm going to need one more word that I don't know the meaning of. Its name comes from the yellowish brown color of its skin. The lemon shark is often found with stingray spines or stingers stuck in its jaw. I don't know what a spine is on a stingray, so let me put that down, spine. Okay. Now I'm going to look these words up that I don't know the meaning of, because if I don't know the meaning of all these 4 words, then I probably don't really understand this unusual features of the lemon shark. So I'm going to go ahead and look those words up, which I have already done. Okay, and then I'm going to put them in a paragraph form. So first thing I'm going to do, does the book have a glossary? Remember, the back of the book is where we would find a glossary, and this book does not have a glossary. So I went ahead and looked up on dictionary.com the meaning of the words, and I wrote them on a separate piece of paper. I learned that captivity is the state of being held or confined. For example, in aquariums, many different types of fish and sharks are held in captivity. They're confined to a huge saltwater tank where they live. Okay, they're not allowed to be free into the ocean. Okay. A target. A target is an object that's marked with concentric circles. So all you have to do is think about the store Target, and this is their this is the signature sign for Target. And so this would be where you're aiming. So a target is something that you're aiming for. Reward. A reward is something that's given or received for doing something. For example, if you did your homework every day of the week when we were in school, you would have a reward, and that would be you were able to choose something from the treasure box. So it said in this book, let me just find it. It said that it can learn how to tell shapes apart and how to hit a target for food reward, for a food reward. So the lemon shark's reward would be food. So it would probably be something like a part of a stingray, octopus, bird, fish, lobster, crab, or shrimp. Okay, so I'm starting to picture all this in my mind, and I'm starting to understand it better. And then the other word was spine. A stiff pointed appendage as a quill of a porcupine. So I'm thinking about a spine, like a little just a little pricker kind of that's about yay long. The quill of a porcupine. It's like the quill of a porcupine, but this spine is on a stingray spine. And if I wasn't able to envision that, I would go to my Chromebook and I would look up stingray, and I would look to see where the spine is on the stingray, okay? Because I really want to understand what I'm reading. Okay, and so if you're reading a nonfiction text that I put in your packet or another one that you may have had at home, I want you to really be curious. Make sure that you understand and go in and look these things up so that you can picture it in your mind and you can understand it. All right, so now that I have my definitions, I'm going to reread this unusual features of the lemon sharks to make sure that I can envision it and understand it. Although the lemon shark is dangerous, and I see the lemon shark here, so I'm picturing that, it does well in captivity. It does well being held captive or confined in a tank. It can learn how to tell shapes apart and how to hit a target or aim for a specific spot to earn a food reward or something that would be given to it. Its name comes from the yellowish brown color of its skin. The lemon shark is often found with stingray spines or stiff pointed things like the quill of a porcupine or stingers stuck in its jaws. Okay, so now I've read this and now I can really picture it all and I really understand it. So now I need to put this all in paragraph form. Well, the one thing that I may not do, remember, is to copy this word for word because that would be plagiarism and that is against the law. So I'm going to have to put this all in my own words. And so this is how I would do it. And I haven't yet done this, so I'm just going to be off the top of my head writing a paragraph. Okay? So I might try to bring the audience in with a question. Did you know that lemon sharks who live in captivity, and notice I'm using the word captivity because if you're going to do the vocabulary part, you have to use those words that you weren't sure about, those words that you looked up. Did you know that lemon sharks who live in captivity or confined in a tank? Now here I have defined the word captivity. Confined in a tank. Can aim at a specific spot or target. And so I just told you the meaning of target. To get a food. Let me just erase that. Let me just say, to receive food as a reward. Okay, so reward is something that you earn. So I don't know if you can see that, but so far I have that. Okay, so that's my first sentence. Now there's something wrong here. And remember that if you write in complete sentences, you have to start with a capital letter at the beginning, and you capitalize any proper names. Did you know that lemon sharks who live in captivity or confined in a tank can aim at a specific spot or target to get or receive? I forgot the word or. So see, I'm reading over my work and I'm making sure that it makes sense. Or receive food as a reward. Now, is that a statement? It isn't. It's a question, so I have to put a question mark. Okay? And then there's only one more word I need to put in my sentence, but look, or in my paragraph, but I only have one sentence. So I need to put at least 2 more sentences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, lemon sharks like to eat stingrays. And then I'm going to say, many times they are found with a spine or pointed, actually a stiff pointed appendage stuck in its jaw. Okay, so there you have it. This is my paragraph, and in this paragraph I have given you the meaning of the word captivity, reward, target, and spines. And so everything that you do, if it calls for you to answer, you need to answer it in paragraph form. Let me read this over. Remember, we always reread our work to make sure that we didn't make any mistakes. Did you know that lemon sharks who live in captivity or confined in a tank can aim at a specific spot or target to get or receive food as a reward? Lemon sharks like to eat stingrays. Many times they are found with a spine or a stiff pointed appendage stuck in its jaw. Okay, so I have given you the definitions of these words, and I have done it in paragraph form. So go ahead, choose your first X or O, and we're going to try to make tic-tac-toe. So you can either go this way, you can go down or across, and this will be, you'll do one today or this weekend, and we'll finish up 2 more next week. So I hope you have fun, and remember, do your best and learn about things, okay? Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.